In terms of who will replace McSorley under center for the Nittany Lions, here are the quarterbacks currently on the roster. Not a lot of experience. As a group, they've combined for just 7 passing attempts, with all of those coming by sophomore Sean Clifford. So let's take a close look here at Penn State with their head coach, James Franklin, who is back with us here live. And Coach, we always appreciate you so much. You taking the time, and this quote that you had looking at your program in its totality last year really interested me. You described it as great, but not elite. To you, what is the difference?
Well, I think if you look, we're in a position where probably 90% of the programs in the country would love to be. You look over the last 3 years, I think there's only 6 programs in the country that have had the type of success that we've had. We finished the season ranked as high as number 5. We've been ranked as high as number 2 at one point. So we've done some great things that we should be very proud of. But there's still another level that we want to get to, and that's obviously into the playoffs, and that's competing for national championships. So you think about where this program was when we arrived here 6 years ago to where it is now. I think there's so much to be proud of, but we're not satisfied and really never will be.
What does it take then to make that leap? You talk about going, I guess, from point A to point B. What does it take to make the leap from where you are to where you want to be?
Well, I think the reality is we've made significant strides in so many areas, but I make the argument, getting from outside of the top 25 into the top 25 and then into the top 15 and then into the top 10 takes a lot of hard work, but really taking that next step to getting into the top 4 is probably as hard as it is to make the moves that we've already made. So it's competing in everything. It's making sure our scheme and our coaching is up to that standard. It's make sure our recruiting is up to that standard. Our development is up to that standard. Our nutrition, our strength and conditioning, our facilities, it's every single aspect. You look at the programs that are able to do it consistently, they're really not lacking in any area. So for us, it's making sure that everybody understands from the very top down that our mentality needs to be, we need to compete in every single aspect.
You're there, of course, in Chicago with all the Big Ten coaches. We had Ryan Day on earlier in this hour. If we're coaching at Penn State now, what does the departure of Urban Meyer from Columbus mean to the conference?
Well, I've gotten to know Urban very well, both personally and professionally, the last couple of years, and obviously he's had a great career. We were 2 of the only coaches that kind of had a little bit different perspective in terms of we both have been head coaches in the SEC as well as the Big Ten, so I think that perspective was valuable. But Urban had a great career both in the SEC, obviously, and in the Big Ten, and loved to compete against him. We've had some great games, there's no doubt about it. But obviously him being gone, it's an opportunity for Ryan, who's been a part of the program for a number of years, to step up and put his kind of footprint on it. So we're excited about competing with them. They've done a tremendous job, but obviously Urban not being in the conference does change things.
In what way? Give me one example of the way that maybe it changes things a little bit.
Well, I think the biggest thing, obviously, you talk about his success over his entire career. Urban and Ohio State. But you look at Ohio State. Ohio State was winning before Urban got there. They're going to win, after Urban leaves. But obviously, he's made a huge impact on college football in general and made a huge impact on our conference.
All right, I have one last thing for you here. We always appreciate the time. You've obviously been a successful recruiter for a long time, long before you got to Penn State. We have one of your old recruits sitting in the room with us right now, and that is Dominique Foxworth, who is just a troublemaker of the nth degree.
Your greatest accomplishment was getting me to go to Maryland. Now, you should be proud of that. Put that on your resume. But I'll explain to them how different it is for me to watch you now, and you are making all these coach speak responses to these questions. I know how you really think. I know that you're kind of a brash trash talker, and I know all the stuff that you just said is a little bit different, a tweak on how you actually feel. But the only thing that they were shocked by was I said when you walked into my living room and talked to me and my mom and dad that you had hair. And they all looked at me like I was stupid. I was like, yeah, Frank used to have some nice luscious locks. What happened to him?
Well, Dominique is my guy. I still talk to his mom and dad, love his whole family, and there's no doubt. I had the box fade going for a long time until I was with the Green Bay Packers, and my wife took a picture from the stands down to the sideline, and I realized I was going a little south back there, so I took control of it and acted like it was a choice when it really wasn't.
It's probably hard to find a shape up in Green Bay, too, I would guess. You probably had to shave it off just to be a little easier. But I can speak
No
to
doubt.
how you've been a good friend to me and my family for a long time. I wish you guys the best of luck. But, yeah, I wish you would talk a little more trash. Tell us how you really feel. I know you got something to say about Ohio State. Say a little something. Give us a little something about Ohio State. The Terps, you're playing us on the 27th.
Dominique,
you don't got no trash talk?
Nah, Dominique, I'm going to talk about you. I love you. I miss you, brother. Come visit, man.
Boo.
He managed to sidestep that one really nicely. Coach, good luck. Enjoy the week there, and we will check in with you as the season gets underway. Thank you, James Franklin.
All right, Frank.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports and analysis, download the ESPN app, and for live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus.